Let's make a Life of a Showgirl inspired back charm. This one is for the Swifties out there. For the non-Swifties that may not know, the colors for Taylor Swift's new album are orange and mint green. So that's kind of where the inspiration is behind this piece. Start by cutting your bead stringing wire, then slide on a crimp bead in either a jump ring or split ring. String the wire back through the crimp bead, then slide the crimp bead towards the jump ring or the split ring. Now with the crimping tool, you're going to use the kidney-shaped notch first and then the oval-shaped notch second. The crimp bead should look like a bow after the first notch. Now using your pliers, place a crimp cover around the crimp bead. Now attach some sort of hinged closure to the split ring or the jump ring. This will attach to your bag or purse. It's time to start stringing the beads onto the wire. Once you've strung an inch or so worth of beads, make sure to string the extra wire back through those beads. I'm adding rhinestone charms for some bling. These are charms that will dangle a little bit on the back charm. So as you can see, I used a bunch of different beads and I created my own unique pattern. I ended up stringing between 10 and 11 inches worth of beads. And initially I cut around 12 to 13 inches worth of bead stringing wire. Once you finish stringing your beads onto the wire, add a crimp bead and then either a jump ring or split ring. Just like how you did earlier, string the wire back through the crimp bead and then through an inch or two worth of beads. Now use the crimping tool on the crimp bead with the kidney-shaped notch first and the oval-shaped notch second. Then add a crimp cover over the crimp bead and cut any extra wire with your wire cutters. Next, add a hinge closure. Now it's time to cut the rhinestone chain. I cut around 10 inches for mine since I wanted the beaded strand to hang lower than this one. Now you'll need something called a cup chain end. This will close off the rhinestone chain. Place the last rhinestone on the chain inside the cup chain end. Using your pliers, fold over the metal pieces onto the rhinestone. Then press the edges in so they're tighter on the rhinestone. Repeat these steps with the other end of the chain. Now you're going to add these to either the jump ring or the split ring that the beaded strand is on. I didn't say this earlier, but if you want the extra security, then use a split ring. And then here you have the finished Life of a Showgirl inspired back charm. Of course, I had to set up some feathers for a few shots. Thanks for watching, everyone.